James, the Time Traveler. Our story begins in the years 2060, after the Third World was arrived and completely devastated the surface of the Earth. The one that once saw how the world powers attack each other and force the 1% of surviving humans to live in the subsoil of the earth. Here is James Grant, a prisoner of war who is confined in the distant cells of the galleries of an ancient palace, suitable as a last form of survival. In this subsoil are the scientists. They are a kind of men with great knowledge and multiple inhuman investigation that they have carried out in order to return to the surface and keep the human race in survival. These scientists have resorted to investigating time travel as a last hope. The scientists decide to search among the prisoners those who are mentally fit. This is where our story intertwines with James, a man who is prey to his dreams and continually evokes a memory of his childhood. A chase between two men in a terminal of buses. In it, he managed to see the beautiful face of a woman, brown hair, and a look of panic when witnessed the death of an unknown man. Who was it? James really has no idea and still can't figure it out. Thanks to his mental capacity and his very good image recension, James managed to survive the test that many before have tried to travel through time. James is ready for his first mission and decides to send him to collect information in the year 2035, the year in which the explosion that destroyed the world, the nuke, is expected. He is placed in a small revolving cabin connected to multiple sensory devices that, to the least of his knowledge, could go wrong. But it did not matter. He would receive amnesty for the events that led him to be locked up in a small, cruel, and vile prison. James going through his first trip to the year 2035, but unfortunately for everyone, the trip turns out badly and ends up traveling to the year 2030. In it, he managed to see calm people breathing very pure air running, enjoy the hot sun and hugging breeze current. It was magnificent. After those first impressions, there was a point of triggering insanity, recording that vile and dangerous mission that had brought him there. Frantic from the sudden change, he began to scream furiously and asked where he was found. The human mind was not capable of living in two different realities, and he knew it. All this showed triggered that he was taken to a prison for mentally unstable people, and asylum. Among the crazy, there was a very particular one, Freddie Stewart, a deranged madman, lover of animals and with great ambition, son of a scientific tycoon who owns the largest laboratories and germ banks in the country. Freddie, upon hearing James' story, decided to help him escape, but in the attempt, he is caught and confined. From one moment to another, there was only darkness, and James went back to the scientist. After telling the story of him to the scientist, James returns to the memories of his dream and sees Freddie in it, transporting what is valid the same day the war broke out. At the moment, James realized that by telling Freddie the future as he was responsible and had condemned everyone. With that information, it was enough to stop him. He had fulfilled his first mission. James is sent back in time again, but to the year 1916 for a few minutes. Disoriented, he realized that he is in the trenches in France and is injured in the leg. Instantly returning to travel, he arrives at the indicating year 2035, the year is which he was a child and everything began. Wounded, he goes to the hospital. He is healed by Jane, a familiar face for him. Jane, removing the bullet from her leg, was amazed at how old it was. The two of them intertwined, a very close relationship. For this reason James decided not to return to dark future from which he came, even when he was pardoned by scientists. They both flee to the bus terminal to create a new life, but unfortunately he remembers everything. That terminal is the terminal of his dreams, and where he managed to see the face of the beautiful woman. It was Jane. And later, waiting for his bus ticket, Freddie was found ready to travel around the world and release the toxin that would cause that apocalyptic future. James ran after Freddie, breaching security while Jane runs after him. Freddie had a .22 caliber hidden under his belt. While he was running, he fired at James. At this moment, he understood that the moment he had witnessed as a child and with which he was obsessed was his haunt. Did that person is see dying is himself. Thank you.